Hey Fae folk, welcome back. So for today's video, we're going to be doing another Disney doll ranking, and today we are taking a look at all of the limited edition Aurora dolls. And I'm a little nervous. So I do love Aurora as a princess. She's definitely one of my favorites, and I love the movie in general. Like sometimes I like a princess, but I don't like the movie as much. Aurora's not like that. Like I like her, and I also just love Sleeping Beauty, especially for the art style. Like that art style is just so unique and so beautiful. I love it so much. However, whilst prepping for this video, I don't want to spoil like too much, but I will say some of these dolls are pretty rough, at least in my opinion. Of course, you might disagree. You might be like, these are the most perfect dolls to ever exist. What is wrong with you? And that's totally fine. We're allowed to have different opinions. Just do please be like chill about it if you want to express that disagreement in the comments down below. But yeah, for me, a lot of them are kind of iffy. So I'm a little nervous about how this ranking is going to go, but I mean, we won't know for sure until we get into it. So let's just get into it. So as per usual, as with all of my other Disney Princess rankings, we're using Procreate, and then the tiers good to bad are perfect, good, okay, I feel nothing, no thanks, and put it back. So we're starting off real rough with the designer Princess Aurora. If you've seen any of my previous videos, you know that I just really have developed an intense hatred for this line as a whole. I think it is almost never even passable. Like that's really the best thing I can say about the dolls that I've seen so far from this line is that on occasion they've been passable. For the most part, I think they're butt ugly. So taking a look at this Aurora doll, I think the nicest thing I can say about her is that this entire top portion has the potential to be good. I don't think it is good because I think it looks violently ill-fitted. Like it doesn't look like it was made for this doll at all. It's kind of just like, shove it on there. Like it feels like as if I was trying to dress a Monster High doll in rainbow high clothing and it's like a little bit too big and I'm trying to just like make it work. I mean, sometimes it will fit, but you know what I'm saying? Like it feels like this dress and specifically the top of this dress was made for a different doll and like they just put it on this one and they're like, it's close enough, it's fine. I don't like that. Design wise, I do think this could be good. I think like the decorative kind of belt moment could be fun. I feel like the pleating and like the rhinestones look better than they do on some other dolls from this line. So like all of that could be okay if it looked like it was executed properly, but it doesn't, at least to me. Skirt, super basic and boring. Looking at the face, I don't out and out hate the face, but I don't think it looks like Aurora. Like, I think her makeup is cute. I think her face is cute if it were on a different doll. I just don't feel like it reads Aurora to me. And then the hair is straight up Cinderella's hair. Like, this just is a Cinderella hairstyle. So, we're not starting off great, and we're gonna throw her straight into put it back. I just hate this line so much. I just do. Next up, we have a Harrods Sleeping Beauty limited edition doll. So this one you're gonna see does come in pink and in blue. So I guess this is a good time to say I am a blue dress truther for Aurora. I always prefer blue on her. I just think that it's like better. I feel like she has more screen time in the blue dress. I will fight for this one. Like, I truly believe Aurora should have had a blue dress. I understand it was like they wanted to differentiate her from Cinderella, and Cinderella got blue even though she had a silver dress. It's like a whole odd controversy. But yeah, I like blue better. That being said, looking at the design of this dress, not even just the dress, the whole doll. I don't know that I love the face, but it at least looks a little more like Aurora than the last one. I do think the tinsel in her hair is kind of nice because like her hair being literally like golden, like luscious and beautiful is a thing in the movie. And so while I understand that not everyone is a fan of tinsel and like sparkle in the hair, I get that. I personally love it, and I do think that it kind of ties in for Aurora quite well. I think the neckline isn't terrible. I think the thing for me is you can see here how it's like waving. I wish it had been more structured. I think that that would look really nice where this is like kind of an over high neckline where it's like off the shoulders but also really high up. If it were more structured, I think just the fact that it bends a little bit takes away a tad for me. I don't like the belt. I think that looks pretty cheapy. Like you very easily could have just not done that. Love the like dramatic sleeve situation here. Y'all know I always love dramatic sleeves. It's so good. I was trying to figure out for a second if it's like a full cape, but it's not. It's like just sleeves. That would be so cool if it was like a sleeve cape though. I'm just saying. The skirt, I do think it looks like a tad stiff, but that is like intentional. Like this is a very structured skirt for her. Not necessarily like the most to my taste, but I don't dislike it. It's kind of just like, yeah, it is there. It's not my favorite, but it's fine. I do like the embroidery and everything. I think that's really pretty. Overall, I think I'm going to put her in okay, which, I mean, maybe that feels a little bit mean, but I don't know. There's just something about her that isn't speaking to me. And then this is the exact same doll, but in blue. So same, like Harrods exclusive. And it's just better. Like, am I crazy? To be fair, the lighting's better on this image, so like maybe that's it. I just think the blue is such a pretty color on her. I think it looks so much nicer. I don't know, like the rhinestones look a little bit less cheapy to me. Still don't like the belt. So like my complaint still stands there. But I just like blue better, so I'm gonna put her into good. Okay, these next two I'm like quite honestly confused about. I'm gonna show you them. I think that they were listed differently on the like database that I was using to find all these images and like find like the list of limited edition Aurora dolls. But is this not the exact same outfit? Like I put on a layer and I labeled it just blue because it was listed differently. Is this not exactly the same? And then we have the pink one too. Like that's exactly the same. I know these are super pixelated, but I'm pretty sure these are exactly the same. I have no idea what was happening when I prepared for this. I don't know why this was listed differently on the database. I just wanted to like show those to be like I'm aware that they exist just in case I'm missing something and they're different. But I'm not going to include them in the ranking cuz it's like just a duplicate. So we're just going to casually delete those two layers and move on to the fairy tale Aurora who came with Philip. We are for now ignoring Philip. He'll be featured in a Prince's video later. This is rough. I will say that like Aurora has one of my favorite non-gown outfits. Her and Ariel, I think both have really, really strong like non-gown or like for Ariel non-mermaid outfits. Like they're non-signature outfits, I guess would be a better way to put it. They're more casual outfits. I think this is not a good interpretation of how she looks in the movie. Like I do think that her outfit is really, really pretty, and I just don't think this is working for me. The like rhinestones at her hip, that's a bad color. Every single time I do this, I end up having like a bad highlight color. I think that looks really awkward and like chunky and not good. I do like the print that they've chosen for like the underlayer of her skirt. I like the embroidery on the top layer of her skirt. I want to like all the velvet because I'm a velvet person. I think it's beautiful on clothes that like I want to put on my body. But I do think sometimes for dolls it can look a little clunky since it is a slightly thicker fabric. And I feel like for the skirt and for the like bust portion of her top, it does just look a little clunky and like a little bit awkward. I don't know. I want to love this one. Like, I really want to like this, but the best I can give her is okay. Then, okay, these two I'm really confused about. So I'm just going to put them both up at the same time. This is the Diamond Castle Aurora. This is the Disneyland 60th Anniversary Edition Aurora. So, like, allegedly different lines or like four different things, but it is just a recolor. And like Disney does do this on occasion. Obviously, with Aurora, they do have a habit of sometimes giving her a pink version and then a blue version, which is pretty normal. Or sometimes for like D23, you'll get recolors or outfits with like slightly more detail than their Disney store counterparts. I just thought it was interesting that this was like two completely different lines. Like the, what was it? I forgot immediately. The Diamond Castle and then like the Disneyland 60th. That was just bizarre. But like, they are the same outfit, just three colors. So taking a look at the pink first, honestly, I'm trying to like be nice, but I'm having trouble. I don't hate the way the quote unquote gloves are done, just because I feel like it's really hard to do gloves right on dolls, honestly, because you end up either having like arm warmers like this or mittens or molded on gloves, and all of them have their drawbacks. So I understand why they went with this. It's fine. It's not my least favorite. Weirdly enough, in this instance, I actually like the pink skirt better. Just because I think that the contrast between the light pink and the dark pink isn't as intense, so it looks less stripy than this one does. It feels more just like, oh, it's like a subtle nuance of color instead of like intentional stripes, because the stripes make it feel almost like a little circusy, and I love the circus vibe, just not for Aurora. I don't like the top. the rhinestoning and everything. The face, I still feel like is a little off. I also hate that they gave her a blunt cut bang. I need to make this a little smaller so you can really see it. A blunt cut bang and then gave her the swirl. That's gross. I don't like that at all. So, yeah, I'm so sorry. I'm going to put this one in no thanks. Just overall, like the only redeeming thing is I don't think her skirt is the worst, but like I just don't think these are great. And then very similar vibes on this, although she does have a silver tiara and a silver necklace. As a silver person, like I prefer the silver, but I can objectively look at Aurora and be like, she is a gold girly. Like she should not be in silver. I just don't think it looks as good on her. And again, I think the striping looks pretty ludicrous on this skirt. So sadly, she's also going into no thanks if I can get onto the right layer. So like, this is what I was saying earlier, y'all. This is rough. Then we have the Fairy Tale Aurora with Maleficent. We are ignoring Maleficent and looking at Aurora. And now I'm just realizing she also has the blunt cut with like the swoop. Is that a thing? Did I miss that on the first couple of dolls? I just don't think that's the best way to execute her bangs. Anyway, she looks startled and terrified, which like might be thematic because she does come with like the villain of her story. But unfortunately, it doesn't really look intentional because she's still smiling. So I just feel like it's a very awkward face for her. Sadly, I do like the embroidery that we have on the like top portion of her dress. I feel like the neckline is fairly movie accurate. I like that we have some little gemstones on the necklace because that I think is cute. But the skirt is extremely boring. I'm just not excited. I'm gonna put her in I Feel Nothing because mostly I'm just vaguely sad. And that brings us to the 60th anniversary Aurora, which thank goodness we finally have a good one. And this is like, I think this doll, her existence really helps me justify putting this previous version of her like casual outfit at a lower tier ranking. I actually don't know which came out first, but like in order of what we're looking at, this is just so infinitely better. I love the asymmetrical skirt. I think it looks so beautiful. The layers that we have in here with the lace and then like the tulle and then the topmost layer being the shiny fabric. It's so pretty. The embroidery is beautiful. I love the way her top has been executed and the peasant top underneath is so pretty with this fabric. The shawl that she has being like quite nice with the very subtle designs on there, like the little floral element. It's so beautiful. The little basket she comes with and her face looks better. Like I feel like out of all the Auroras that we've looked at, this is one that has had the best face so far. Her swoop bang looks like it's a proper swoop instead of like that awkward chop. Thank you to whoever designed this. Thank you for finally giving me a good Aurora doll. She gets to be our first entry into Perfect. She is such a little sweetheart. Then we have the Wedding Aurora doll, and this is also an absolute banger to me. While I am someone who, as I said, will ride and die for the blue dress for Aurora, I do think that the very slight hint of like a pinky peach color for her wedding dress is really pretty. I love that we have the same silhouette as her normal dress, but like it's just slightly different and then it's like turned colors and got different details to make it kind of more of a wedding dress. I just think it's cute. The crown with the veil and like the lace at the end of the veil is so beautiful. I really actually do like this almost double neckline that we've got here. I think that's a fun addition. Again, her necklace, the addition of the gemstones, so pretty. We have a good face again. Thank you. And the skirt, it's so voluminous. Like this is so nice. We've seen with some of the previous Disney princesses, especially Belle, that sometimes they are supposed to get these big, beautiful skirts and they just don't get them. To be fair, Aurora is kind of the opposite, where I definitely feel like her movie outfit has less of a poof to it. It's like a little bit less extreme in silhouette. Like it's a little, I'm trying to think of like a good word because the word that comes to mind is slinky and that's not what I want. But her dress definitely doesn't have the same extreme like ball gown proportions, right? Like it's not really a ball gown. That being said, for the wedding dress, I think it looks nice to like have it be a little bit more dramatic, and I think it's been executed very well. I just think this is super pretty for frankly no reason, and she also gets to go into Perfect. Then we have the D23 Midnight Masquerade Aurora doll, who also came with Philip, who we are also ignoring. I do not like this, and it's so sad because I feel like overall the Midnight Masquerade line is pretty strong. Like most of their dolls, even if I don't love them, I'm like, okay, that's at least interesting. I just don't like this at all. The only piece I like is I can't tell if it's like a shawl or a cape or what is happening here, but I think that's a really beautiful fabric. Like the bluey iridescent is really, really pretty. But everything else, I just do not, I just don't like it. I mean, I guess you could say that the neckline here is kind of interesting, but it doesn't seem as exciting as other Midnight Masquerade entries. It doesn't seem as luxurious as other Midnight Masquerade entries. Frankly, this outfit doesn't even look particularly collector to me. Like, I know there is the embroidered detail, but like if that was printed on, this would not surprise me if you had told me this was a playline doll. Like, she just does not look good to me. So she's not going quite to burn it, but she's going into no thanks because it's very lackluster to me if I'm being nice, and like it's kind of ugly if I'm being mean. Then we have the Ultimate Princess Celebration Aurora. I say this in every video, so I'm sorry, but I did make an entire video about this like collection as a whole once it had finished coming out. So if you want to see my thoughts on that whole collection, I'll have it linked. But focusing on Aurora, I love this. Okay, I genuinely think this is so beautiful and so just genius. I am obsessed. I like the gradient from the blue to the pink, especially because it seems like we have a little bit more blue on there, so I feel pretty vindicated. I also like the choice to make it like a darker color, just because this is another line where they're definitely not going for movie accuracy. They're just like doing something different and something fun with the princesses. So the fact that it's like a darker color, but it still kind of harkens back to her movie colors, I think is really, really excellent. The embroidery detail is great. I love how they gave like almost a crown on her dress, like at her neckline there. I just think that's a fun detail. She's also got some of that kind of mirroring off the sleeves there, which is really, really pretty. I think her face is nice. I love that she has this little hairpiece, because I do feel like she looks a little empty without a hairpiece, because she usually has like the headband on or a tiara. So for her, I just feel like she looks a little empty without something in her hair. So I do like that, but it is something different. So it's like a little more exciting. And then the skirt, oh my gosh, I just love this so much. I'll put in during editing what like the back panels here and here look like, because you obviously can't see them super, super well from the front, but they are like stained glass sheer panels of fabric that are meant to be like images of icons from the movie, I guess would be the best way to put it. And I just think that is so fun and so beautiful. Like, it looks so nice. I'm obsessed with this doll. I don't collect Disney dolls anymore, but this one is one that like I didn't get her when she came out. Like, I was actively collecting when she came out. I didn't get her when she came out. I don't think that I will make an effort to get her, but I could see her being an exception to my rule because I just weirdly am obsessed. So she also gets to go into perfect. Sadly, though, from the same line, sometimes some princesses in that line got 2 entries, like Ariel got 2 entries, and then Aurora got 2 entries, although this one is like Briar Rose version of Aurora. And yeah, it sure is a doll. Doesn't look like Aurora. And that's my main thing, is like, I understand, as I said, that the Ultimate Princess Celebration, much like Midnight Masquerade, is not a line that is meant to be, here is the outfit from the movie. Like, that's not the point of it. But I do think there is a point where you get so far away from the source material that you can no longer tell that it is supposed to be a reference to the source material. And that's where we're at with this doll. If I did not know what collection this was a part of, and if I didn't know this was meant to be Aurora, never in my life would I guess that this is Aurora, because nothing about the outfit says Aurora. Nothing about it feels referential in any way to any part of the movie, whether that's the colors or the silhouette or the iconography. Like, literally none of it feels referential. And then the hair is styled differently. The face feels a bit more generic. Like, even if you had given her a face mold that looks very much like Aurora, I might be able to give you a little bit of a pass. This just frankly is like a random doll to me. Like, this is not Aurora. So it's hard because, like, objectively, I don't think she's an ugly doll. But if I am ranking dolls of Aurora, and like it kind of feels like an important part that she's recognizably her, I feel like I have to put it and put it back. Not because it's a hideous doll, not because it's an ugly design, but because nothing about this is Aurora. Like, I honestly feel like I could have snuck this into a Barbie ranking and been like, oh, this was like a weird special edition Barbie, and that would have been believable, right? Like, I have to put her and put it back. I'm so sorry. Because it isn't an ugly outfit, but that's not my girl. And then lastly, we have the 65th anniversary version of Aurora. I have very mixed feelings on this. Obviously, they're trying to play into the pink and blue. It's very interesting to me how some of the earlier, like, versions of these limited edition dolls got separate releases where one was pink and one was blue. And then as time has gone on, it feels like they're more inclined to do like a mashup of the colors on one doll. I don't love how it's executed on her. I do like the top actually. Like I think the top is pretty solid where it's like the half and half. I think the bottom just to me is it's purple because like they're using this iridescent fabric, but it mostly just reads purple to me, and that is unfortunate. I wish we had just stuck with this one kind of mid panel trailing down because I find that very interesting. But then when you add on these side panels, they look kind of weirdly thick and poofy, and I'm just not super vibing with it. Mostly I just don't like the fabric of the skirt. Like I don't like the thickness of it. I don't like the way it lays. I don't like the color. Like I'm complaining about it. I'm not a huge fan. I do like the embroidery. Like I said, the top portion I think is pretty solid. I think the face is quite nice. And I love her jewelry. The tiara is so sparkly and so beautiful. Like I love that. She's got her proper bang. I just really don't like the skirt. So I think the best that I can do is put her in okay, which feels so sad. But like, I don't know, it just doesn't feel right. So that's the Aurora rank. Honestly, this is a little better than I thought it was going to go. Like, I was really afraid it was going to be super, super bad. And, like, it's not good, but it still could be worse. I don't know what it is about her. I think huge misses are the bangs, the way that, like, sometimes do the straight cut bangs. That's messed up. And the face. Like, I feel like she very rarely looks like Aurora, which is weird because, again, the movie has such a distinct art style that I feel like you should be able to pull from that. I don't know. I just feel like they're kind of messed up a lot of the time. So, yeah, love Aurora as a princess. Love the film. I think her dolls are frequently a miss. But yeah, guys, that is going to wrap up the Aurora ranking. Like I said, a little bit more of a negative one. So my apologies for the vibes today, but like I can't help it. These are just how the dolls look, and sometimes they're kind of rough. Definitely, I would love to hear your thoughts on these dolls and whether you agree with me that Aurora kind of gets a rough treatment a lot of the time, or like I said in the intro, maybe you are absolutely obsessed with these, and that's also fabulous. I'm glad that you have something that can make you happy. Next up, I think we're doing a conglomerate video because there are a couple of princesses who really don't have enough dolls to like do a whole dedicated ranking like this. So I think what we're going to end up doing is doing Pocahontas and Mulan both in the next video. So definitely be on the lookout for that if you like either of those princesses or just if you want to hear me ramble about those princesses. But that is going to be it for today, guys. I hope you're able to enjoy. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day or your night, whatever it might be, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye, guys.